The movie Obsession has recently come under a lot of flack. Okay, because people are saying that apparently it's not as good as they originally thought. They have complaints with the movie, plot holes, stuff that don't make any sense. And first of all, let me give you my opinion before we get into all of this and analyze, well, is this correct, is this true or not. But okay, the movie is a little bit overhyped. Okay, it is slightly overhyped. I watched YouTube videos where people are saying that this is the best movie of the year. It's a perfect movie. Okay, okay, it's a good movie. It's an entertaining movie. I did not fall asleep during it. But perfect. Come on, let's hold our horses a little bit. Let's examine this more carefully, because saying that this is the best movie already, and it's only like June, it's the start of June, and it's the best movie ever, it's a little bit crazy. That is a little bit crazy. But one of the biggest complaints with the movie that's come out recently, it has to do with the supernatural elements of the movie. The One Wish Willow. What is that? Apparently it's like a supernatural thing, right? It's very obvious that it's something that's not scientific. It's not just natural. But what is it? Why does the movie go that route? It obviously shows that it's supernatural, but you don't really know what it is. To the point where, even the main actress had to come out and explain that she was not demon possessed in the movie. The character of Nikki was not demon possessed. So it is, yeah, I can agree with that a little bit. It is a bit problematic when it's so mysterious to the point where the actor has to come out and clarify stuff. Okay, that's not very good. At the same time, okay, think about this. Every good, successful horror movie franchise, whatever, it started off with a villain or a supernatural element where it wasn't really explained. Like, that's part of the point, okay? It's part of the point where it's mysterious. You don't know how stuff works. You don't know the origin of it. Hell, even the movie Jumanji is very similar to this. And you didn't really know what was going on. That's part of what makes it scary, right? Or it's supposed to be scary. But let me make a comparison. Because you have a movie like this movie reminded me of The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. You have something similar with characters who are just losing their minds. And it's very obvious that it could be something supernatural going on. You don't know what it is. But it's still rooted in, you can explain it with something that's completely natural. It could be scientific. They're just two guys losing their minds on an island. And there's waves and stuff. There's so many weird things happening in nature. There's so many things where people vanish completely out of no trace, and then you go and you look and it's like, oh, okay, we explain it. Something weird happened there, and now we know what happened. Here, it's very clearly supernatural, but you don't know what it is. It's very unclear, and the more you go into the supernatural explanation of it, the more it doesn't really make sense. Like, it becomes less scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you had the series The Terror, and it was basically these guys going crazy on a ship, and when it was revealed that there was a bear monster there, it stopped being scary anymore. So that's one complaint that people have. You know, what is the One Wish Willow? How does it really work? How come he makes the wish and then she comes back and she's a totally different person? It doesn't really follow logic. In real life, we know this stuff doesn't work that way, but it's the thing, right, where it's a premise. It's the same thing with The Boys. You have, what if Superman was an evil dude? And it's not supposed to be realistic. It's not supposed to be like a real thing, you know? And part of that has to do with the director of this, who is a YouTube Shorts comedian, Clive Barker. Okay, and that's part of it, you know? It's just, if you look at his comedy, it's largely, oh, okay, this happens. What if this happens? Wouldn't that be very funny? You know? And that's just the way things are. And that's the way this movie is. But there's no realism there, you know? That's what people are complaining about. And it doesn't have to be realistic. Another complaint, right? Another complaint that people had with this movie was that sometimes it was a little over the top. Like a little bit too much focus on the cringe, which is again part of the style of the director. If you make YouTube shorts, you're a YouTuber, you allow leeway in the form of cringe. It's cringe, it's embarrassing. The way that this girl is acting, she's like possessed, whatever, it's cringe. It makes you feel secondhand embarrassment. But does that really take a little bit away from the performance? That's what people are feeling. If there's something that holds this back from being a Oscar-worthy, nomination-worthy performance, it would be exactly that thing. The fact that it's meant to be a little bit embarrassing. It's meant to be a little bit funny, and it's not 100% scary, even though there are some frightening scenes there. Like a woman in the dark acting the way that she does, man, it's scary. It's something that does keep you up at night. It's done well, it's done successfully, but part of the budget constraints of this, to the point where at a certain point it's just Nikki being crazy. And not just being crazy, but also a little bit cringe. Does that take a little bit away from the performance, where you mix this like horror with embarrassment? I think it works. I don't think that that's a particularly like good complaint with this. But once you know that the movie is going a certain direction, you kind of know it's a little bit in store. That's another complaint that people have. The timing, like the pacing of it. Once she loses her mind, it just continues gradually up from there. And there's a little bit of a, okay, like this complaint I can kind of deal with a little bit, because I can see it. I can see the fact that there's a little bit of a missing scale here. What do I mean by that? It's basically because of the budget constraints. It's mostly two characters interacting, and what I was thinking throughout the entire movie was the deeper meaning of this. Like, what is the deeper meaning of a movie like this? What are the implications of it? And the meaning of it, right, is that this dude is horrible. He's still taking advantage of her even when things are going wrong. And it really makes you think, what if someone did that to me? That would be scary. But that part is missing in the movie. There is nothing like that. If this were to happen on like a grand scale, what would happen there? Maybe they'll explore that in a sequel or something. But it really has a lot more meaning to be explored. I just wish that they did that. That's partly like a criticism, partly something that's left to be explored later on, But yeah, if the world worked that way, if everybody got what they wanted, like let's say your mom wanted you to be different, or someone close to you, or a parent or something that wanted you to be different, and that had horrifying consequences. Does that stretch to that point? Yeah, probably. Was this because this dude was obsessed and it had to do with like not love, a messed up version of love? Yeah, probably that had to do with that, which is even worse because there's like a whole different point of exploitation there, but at the same time, you look at that and you think, what if that happened to me in a different context? What if someone wished that you were different and you were no longer the same person anymore? That's a terrifying ordeal. Like, it can completely ruin your life the way Nikki's life was ruined in the movie. So those are overall the biggest complaints. And don't get me even started on the most BS brain rotted theories about this movie. There's something about, I just have to mention it, about like this dude apparently. Oh, here's another thing, the cat thing. This might be a valid criticism, again tied to the fact that the director is a YouTuber. Okay, and it's the fact that the characters don't really act the way normal people would, which is, again, part of what adds to this movie, but also takes it away a little bit. She cooks his cat. He's like, you can't be cooking my cat. That sort of thing, It's not meant to be realistic. You have to understand this. It's not meant to be 100% realistic. But does it impact the movie one way or the other? Some people going to complain about it? Yeah, probably. Yes, absolutely. Does the mystique, the secrecy surrounding how this entire thing work, is it like a valid complaint? Yes, it is. But does it add to the movie? I'd say probably, yeah. And another thing, again with the cat thing, some people are saying that this dude was evil because he hates cats, and that's it. The movie is all about how if you're a guy and you hate cats, you basically hate women and stuff like that. That's stretching it a little bit too far. Okay, that's straight, but it's kind of interesting that there's symbolism in this movie. But other than that, there's a little bit of a lack of symbolism as well. That also detracts from the movie, because if people are reading this much into it and they're looking at stuff that doesn't look like it was very much intended, are people kind of grasping for straws in a movie that's otherwise pretty simplistic, low budget, but well done? Yeah, probably. It looks like there's not that much symbolism. And is the movie a little bit overly marketed, overhyped? It does seem that way. Like, it's rated very high up there. It has like an 8.1 on IMDb. Does it deserve probably a little bit less, like a 7? It's an entertaining movie. It's a great movie. It's very interesting, and it's just a true achievement in horror. It's going to age very well. But is this a perfect 10 out of 10 movie of the year? It's not gonna get surpassed by December, by Dune or Spider-Man or something else. No, I don't think that. That it's going to be up there in the list. It's gonna be up there in the ranks, but it's not number one. Okay, that's just my opinion. That's what I can agree with. Let me know what you think about the comments and the complaints about this movie. I thought it was pretty good. And yeah, that was it. Bye.